Hey everybody, it's Amazon Queen again. Just thought I would do a second video because I had a lot to talk about from this past weekend. Um, if you didn't watch my first video, I went with Candace Sweet Enough, and something that she didn't show on her two videos, but I'm going to show on mine, is they had a free photo booth there, and they had some props and stuff that we could do. So the night of the big shindig, we went and did some pictures. So here's our first one. And I'm this one here with the black hat on, of course. So these are some of the ones we did. I think this is one of our favorite pictures right here, is this one of us, of the both of us. That one was pretty neat. And then here's some ones that we did without the props. So some really nice pictures. I was very happy to get those. But I was talking in my last video about books, and it's really dark in here, so I'm going to turn a light on. Yes. Ah, there we go. Let there be light. And I was talking about Connie Stapleton's book, Eat It Up. Her presentation was just so awesome, and her book is even awesomer, if that's even a word. I'm going to turn some more light on here because I look like I'm dead. I still look like I'm dead, but oh well. Awesome. She really explains the mental side of this and the fact that you really have to be mentally prepared before you have your surgery and after you have your surgery. I'm actually thinking about calling up my psychologist again, or even just emailing her, because I actually asked her at the event. I was like, do you do telephone therapy sessions? Because if you're not fully healthy up here, you can make your body healthy by, dropping the pounds, working out, and doing that. But if this isn't healthy, your body's not going to be as healthy as it could be, and you run the risk of regaining your weight. And that's the one thing I want to do. She emphasizes not just losing the weight, it's keeping it off. Not just getting rid of it, but keeping it off. And that's what I want to do. So something to think about, people, especially for you pre-oppers. And then Chef Dave was there, and he was signing books and stuff. And anybody that knows me, because I've been bugging eggface.com, Michelle, I have been bugging her. And a bunch of other people have been bugging her for a cookbook. And I think she's finally going to give in because she promised her mom one. So you can't lie to your mom, Michelle. You have to put out a cookbook now. But I got Chef Dave. This one's shaking it up. This one's a bunch of different kinds of shakes. Eggface has a bunch of really cool shake ideas too, but some of these looked really good too. This is one of his discontinued books, Cookwise, and on the back, what I really like about this is a cookbook by somebody that has been in my shoes. He had gastric bypass done, and so he knows, just like eggface.com, he knows what can work for us as post-oppers and what can't. But some of these recipes look really, 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 really good, so I'm excited to start cooking out of some of these. Ditch Your Diet in 30 Days, 90 recipes, and can't wait to try some of these too. And all of my books are signed, which is kind of nice. We did his presentation too. He did the first one, which was emergency storage for food. I live in Texas, and we get tornadoes every once in a while, so it's kind of interesting that you don't really think about what you need in an emergency kit until something really, really bad happens. And I think he said he was actually down in Florida when Katrina hit, so he knows what he's talking about. So I'm looking forward to cooking out of those. Oh lordy, what else did I get? Lots and lots and lots of vendors. I actually won a certificate, I don't know where I put it, for $40, because they were doing, you got little tickets in your bags when you got there. And I won a $40 gift certificate to Building Blocks, so I'm looking forward to using that. That should be really, really fun. I got lots of flyers from just about everybody but Bariatric Advantage, because Yeah, Bariatric Advantage had a huge table set up, and they had like 3 dishes out with calcium chews in it, and that was it. The guy left before we even broke for lunch, so that was very, very disappointing. But it was great that Celebrate was there until like the very end. Um, let's see how. Oh, I got a necklace as well, which was kind of cool. And I got the earrings to match, which, I can't wait to wear that out one night. It was great being around people, like I said in my first video, that kind of understand and have been there, done that, or have, at least been in my shoes. I didn't feel like I was being judged, or I had to act a certain way. I could just kind of be myself, which was very, very nice. And, people were asking me, oh, what kind of surgery did you have? How much weight have you lost? What have you been doing? Have you been bad? And yeah, I've been bad a couple times, which is how I found out I have dumping syndrome, which sucks, but it'll keep me away from the sweet things. And then I realized something when people were asking me, well, how much weight have you lost? I'm like, I've lost 88 pounds. Wow, that's a lot. And I also realized when I told them what my goal weight was, that I am at the halfway point to my goal weight, which is 170 pounds. And I'm like, wow. And I'm only like 3.5 months out from my surgery. And I'm like, wow. I still have a long way to go. And, like I said, it's not that I just want to get the weight off. I want to keep it the hell off. The bariatric guru, Erin, I did not unfortunately buy her book. I kind of wish I had now. I may have to steal Candace's copy after she's done reading it so I can read it. We went to her presentation as well, and it was really, really awesome. She had started walking and everything, and she started doing like 3Ks and 5Ks. Well, she went to Disney World and did the half marathon at Disney World, and she actually brought her medal with her, and it was in the shape of Donald Duck. And both Candace and I are kind of Disney nuts. Yeah, we're just kind of psychos like that. And she and I both kind of looked at each other and was like, I want one. So I don't know about Candace, but I'm going to start training up. And yeah, I'm going to do the Disney World or Disneyland. I'll figure out which one. I think Disney World might be the only one that does it. Disneyland's a little small to be doing a half marathon in. But I think I'm going to train up, and first I'm going to do my 3K, then my 5K, and then I'm going to train up, and I am going to do the half marathon at Disney World, and I want a damn medal. Kind of like what Candace said, we're not doing it just for the medal, we're doing it just because it's healthy, but yeah, I want the medal too. My mother, my mother used to run and do half marathons and stuff, and she was a little itty bitty thing. She was a size 4. She now weighs more than I did at my heaviest, and she's only about 5'8", 5'7". She also recently got diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic and is now on medication for it. The only time I was on medication for my type 2 diabetes was while I was pregnant with my gestational diabetes. And so far, since surgery, all of my blood sugars are pretty much been within normal, with the exception of eating that one damn beignet. That one spiked my blood sugar up to about 185, so I started chugging water like crazy because I don't want to do that ever again. But it was a real eye-opener. Another one of the speakers at the very, very beginning of the morning was Chad, and Chad went from being 464 pounds, I forget what his weight is now, 180 or something, but he is now an Ironman triathlete. And I was a competitive swimmer. I've swam since as far back as I can remember. I swam competitively up until high school. And I kind of kicked myself that I didn't continue swimming after that, and my coach was very disappointed in me. However, I have participated in triathlons. I participated in a Troika triathlon up in Spokane, Washington years and years and years ago. Matter of fact, I was the youngest competitor at the time. I was 13 years old when I swam that. And that particular triathlon at the time was an Ironman qualifier for Hawaii. And anybody that's ever watched the Hawaiian triathlon, that is one of the most brutal races in the world. A lot of people have collapsed doing it. A lot of people have not finished doing it. And this man hasn't qualified for the Hawaiian. I believe it's invite or lottery to go to that particular one, but he qualified and stepped over the line and became an Ironman triathlete. And I actually went up to him afterwards when we had broken for a small break, and I went up to him and I shook his hand and I was like, your presentation made me cry because I was once, a competitive athlete. And I think that was one of the few times that I have ever felt shame in my entire life. And I mean shame down to my core. I've always been kind of a person that I really don't give a shit what other people think of me. However, I was very shamed. And not in a, it's shame, and shame is a bad thing anyway, but it was like, wow. Part of the reason I became overweight was because of medical problems. I was on Depo-Provera for years, which, all the research shows that causes women to gain weight. And I also developed polycystic ovarian syndrome because of it, became insulin resistant because of it. And then I had my 2 car wrecks, and then I had my 2 kids. But it's like, wow, I can't really put all the blame on all of those things. Part of the blame still lies with me, and I felt so ashamed of myself for what I had done to my body. Remembering what I was and how I was, my 1-year-old is singing to me. Hi, sweet peas. Hi, goober noodle. Hi. So, yeah. This is another good reason why I'm glad I got this book, and I went to Connie's thing. I have to kind of overcome that shame that I feel within myself, towards myself, the anger I feel at Depo, the anger I feel at my parents for helping me develop such horrendous eating habits, like no breakfast, no lunch. Pretty much the only meal I could really count on most of the time was dinner growing up. So yeah, I am probably going to have to go back to some therapy to get over that kind of stuff. And it takes, and I'm one of those ones that I don't ask for help unless I'm dying. No, I'm not dying, but still, yeah, I think I'm going to need some help with this, which is a lot for me to say, but I kind of have to overcome my pride. And say, look, I can't do this on my own. I need some help with this. I have a wonderful YouTube support group, Facebook support group, my Chit Chat ladies on BBC. Oh yeah, I think I'll be okay in the end, but I gotta help take care of me, and that means all of me, not just the physical part. I really have to do something about the mental part and quit beating myself up for letting myself go. So yeah, this should be interesting. The last time I went to therapy, it was because I had a serious anger management problem. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. Something else I wanted to share. I picked this up at the store, and it's Heartwarming Soups. It's a taste of home. You get them at the checkout and stuff. But as we're going into fall and stuff, I'm thinking, soups and stuff, because cold and something. And a lot of these recipes, I really like this particular magazine because it actually has the nutrition information at the bottom of these things. Like this one, root vegetable soup with sausage, 177 calories, 3 grams of fat, 35 grams of carbohydrates, 6 grams of fiber, 5 grams of protein. And even on some of them gives the diabetic exchanges. That's like horrendously high in carbohydrates. But when you actually look at what's in it, it's actually not really all that bad, with the exception of the 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. I'd probably use fat-free half and half. And if I'm having a problem trying to change up some of these recipes to something I can eat, I'll probably ask Eggface, hey, what would you substitute for this? I'm a pretty good cook, so I'm hoping I can get away with it myself. So just something I thought I'd share. So yeah, I had a wonderful time, and